Well, hello everybody, it's me here, How To Cameron. I hope everyone's having a good day. I apologise about the beard. I've just lost the plot pretty much. I've lost the plot. I've decided to take inspiration from David De Gea. Okay, no, the beard, it actually looks a lot worse, as you can see, because I'm lacking in this department here. I'm not able to grow a beard there, so I look like a melon. I look like an idiot, but I'm not really too bothered. I'm a comedian, technically, so my goal is to make you guys laugh, not make you guys thirst over my appearance. But today I'm going to be talking about something that happened yesterday. I went to a property viewing and I had quite an interesting experience. Before this video starts, if you guys do enjoy it, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new today. If you like this video, you'll probably like my whole channel. So without further ado, let's talk about what happened yesterday. So to give you guys a bit of context, I've been living in this flat for nearly a year. It's been 11 months. Now, at the end of the year, my contract will end. I asked my landlord about it and he said, you're able to extend it, but it will be month by month. So ultimately that means that, he can just say to me, okay, well, we're not extending it. And then boom, in a month I have to move out. So ultimately there isn't that guarantee. I mean, it works the other way around. If I want to move out, I can move out with a 1 month notice. But ultimately there's no guarantee that I'm going to be here for much longer. And talking to the landlord, it seems obvious to me that he's looking to sell this flat. I got an email from the letting agent saying that they want a photographer around, which really pissed me off because the flat is a state, okay? Which means I'm having to clean the whole thing just to get a photographer around. By state, I don't mean there's like crap everywhere, like human feces or anything like that. I mean, it is relatively clean, but it's not clean enough to take photos of to sell, if that makes any sense. Like there are cosmetic imperfections on the walls, the bathroom, the laminate it's been teared up. But pretty much right now, the place is a little bit of a state in terms of the photographer coming around. It's not ready for the photographer to come around. So them emailing me saying the photographer's on their way, it's a little bit stressed. It's stressing me out. So I've been looking at properties around me. Rightmove has a feature where you can draw like a map on a map. If that makes any sense. You can draw like a plot on a map and it shows you all the available properties within that area. So I've been looking and literally on Friday, I think it was Friday or Thursday, I mean, don't fucking matter, you guys don't care, but on one of those days, I saw that there was another flat for sale in this complex. And obviously living in here for a year, I know what it's like to live here. Like, of course, it's not the nicest place to live, but it's close to my work. And also it is a decent building. Like the walls are thick, so you can't hear people outside. I live next to a fucking main road and you can't even hear the traffic outside really. Like this is an A road outside. There's cars going past all the time. You can barely hear them, so it's pretty decent. The only problem I've had with this flat is it being on the ground floor. Not only is being on the ground floor not being on the top floor, so you don't get a nice view or anything, but you also get people looking in and it's something that's really started to piss me off. I work nights, so most of the time I'm up and it's nighttime. Before work, I get ready for work at like 11:30. And I always see people, not just looking, as in they're walking past and they're looking in. I literally see people come up to my like balcony. It's not even a real balcony. It's like a ground floor balcony outside, right? And it's right against the road. I'm literally describing where I live. So if you hate me, you can now find me. Fantastic. You can hunt me down. Easy peasy. But these people will literally come up to the balcony and they will look directly into the flat and they will scope it out. And I always look at them and I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck are you doing? I had someone climb over into my balcony at about 11:30 at night. I looked at her and she didn't even look at me. They never look back at you. Okay, they know that you're looking back at them, but then they just pretend they're not looking in your flat because it's such a rude thing to do. And it's broke behaviour. It's just broke behaviour. You're literally looking inside of my flat, looking to see if there's anything to take. Okay, things that I own. Like, how broke can you be? It's pathetic. So that's one of the problems I've had with living on the ground floor. I mean, I wouldn't mind living here, like, not forever, but I wouldn't mind buying a flat on the ground floor. I don't mind living here in the future. But it's just something that I, don't really like. Now, there was a flat that went for sale in the complex on the top floor. And it was put up for 45 grand. The landlord I have now is looking to put this property up for 55 grand. Now, I want to make it clear, I live in Tunstall, okay? So that sounds like not much money, but it's not a very nice area, so that's why it's so cheap. These flats brand new were 80, 90 grand. I don't really know what happened between then and now. Obviously there was a recession, but that was, 15 years ago. So surely, we would have bounced back from that by now. They've not been worth anywhere close to that for like 15 years, even when the economy was doing pretty well. So this guy is trying to get 55 grand for this flat, and I don't think it's worth that. So, I asked him, how much you're looking for, because obviously it makes sense for me just to buy it, because I already live here. It would be easy to move in, wouldn't it? I'm just staying here in the same spot. But he was looking for 55 grand, which I felt like was way too much. So there's this flat that went for sale just recently. I saw it on, I think it was Thursday, and it was 45 grand. And I remember seeing it on Rightmove, and I was like, yeah, fantastic. Let's call the estate agent. Just a tip I have for you guys, if you're looking for a property and you want a viewing, don't email them. Don't just contact them like through email or whatever. Just call them up. Okay, it's honestly 10 times faster. You're never really going to get a response. The only time you're going to get a response to an email is if they can't find anyone to view the property, which kind of means by definition it's not a good property and it's not worthwhile viewing it. If it's worthwhile viewing it, call them, because if you don't, they just won't offer you a viewing. I booked my viewing. I got the first viewing available. And obviously living in this complex, I know what it's like to be here. So I had my viewing at 12 o'clock on a Saturday. Makes sense. They didn't have any viewings for the Thursday, the same day. They didn't have viewings for the Friday. The earliest viewing they had was on a Saturday. And I remember I walked out, I literally went to the viewing. It's literally in the staircase next to me, which is crazy because the way my complex works is there is lobbies, but there's like 3 separate lobbies around the back for like each partition of the complex. So they're not really like full lobbies or anything, but you have to have a key to get into the lobby to then get to the flat doors, which I really like for security. I was waiting outside, and this guy comes out a bit later, I think it was like 12:05, and he asks, "Oh, are you here for the viewing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was just waiting to see if you came out." And he was like, "Well, the door's open." So the door for the lobby into this partition of the complex was unlocked. It didn't even have a lock, okay, which was already a great start. I mean, my one does. To get into my lobby, not my lobby, but my flat's like lobby, you actually have to have a key just to get in, which I think is really good. Because it means that if you know where I live, you don't even know how to get into the lobby, let alone my flat. So it's like an extra element of security, which I really liked. So I go in and I go to the top floor, and the view is really nice. Okay, the view of the top floor is really, really nice. Pity the flat sucks ass. Now, something I want to just bring into the equation is a cost that you have to pay. A cost that you have to pay, what am I talking about? It's an ongoing charge that you have to pay for owning a flat. And it's something that I really underestimated the cost of. So for this complex, to live in this flat, if you own it, you have to pay about $2 grand a year in ground rent. Okay, this is an ongoing charge that you pay because your flat is a part of a building. But what's funny is they don't even maintain this building that well. Like, the outside of it has a lot of water damage. There's rubbish outside that hasn't been cleaned. The car park's in a bit of disarray. It's just not it's not a well-maintained place. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And as I mentioned before, that lobby into that set of apartments of that part of the building, it didn't even have a lock. Okay, they haven't even replaced the lock to the lobby. Okay, so these are people that aren't maintaining the building particularly well, and then they're asking for $2 grand a year. $2 grand a year is very steep, especially for a property that's worth about 40 grand, which is what this flat is ultimately worth, the one that I went to view. It was listed for 45 grand, and I was thinking to myself, you know what, if it's a similar size to this one, it's probably worth about that. But my God, was it not. Okay, so I go up, and the guy who's showing me around is a freelanced property. I don't know what they're called, but they're pretty much commissioned to show people around a property that's for sale. And I was really disappointed about that because I wanted to meet with the person selling the property, the estate agent. I wanted to meet with someone who I could put my offer towards. Because this guy wasn't, obviously, if I put an offer towards him, it wouldn't mean anything because he's freelance to do it. It was just frustrating because there was no ability to open a dialogue which actually led to anything. It was literally just meeting a random guy who it was actually a really sound guy, but it was just meeting a random guy who was showing me around the place. And oh my god, me and him got on so well because we both just made fun of this property. This guy's job is to show people around properties, so he's seen some shit, okay? He was explaining to me how he was showing people around this mill. It was a mill, like, you know the ones that like make bread. I don't know what they even do, actually. I don't even know how to explain it, but you know the ones that process flour, not make bread. What am I talking about? They had an old heritage mill and they had converted it to like a place to live. I don't know if it was apartments or if it was just a massive house, but had lots of rooms, and he was showing people around that quite recently, and now he's showing people around this piece of shit flat. So it was just quite funny to see the chalk and cheese aspect of it. So we were just laughing at this flat, and my god, guys, I can't believe how awful this flat was. Okay, firstly, the balcony was dead nice, and I'll get the photos out for this one. Here's the thing, right, I'm still offering something for it. Okay, I don't know why I'm making this video, because, oh my god, people are going to know where I live, shit, but I have to make a video on it. It's just so funny. I am happy to offer, like, 37k for it, but it's not worth anywhere close to the 45 they're asking for. So pretty much, I was looking around the flat, and the balcony and bathroom were really nice. Okay, the balcony and bathroom were nice. But besides that, everything else was a mess, okay? The bedroom didn't have a door. The bedroom didn't have a door. The door just wasn't there. It was just an open plan room. But not on purpose, just by accident. It just became open plan. And you know what? I will say with apartments, like, I don't think there is a point to having so many doors. Like, this flat has lots of doors, but it doesn't need them. Like, you're going to be living on a flat most likely on your own, or because you have, like, you're in a relationship with someone. You don't need doors. Just for the bathroom, you need a door. But, like, this door here is pointless. Like, I'm never shutting this door. I'm only shutting it now because I don't know why it's shut now, actually. But there's no point having so many doors. Here are the photos. I'm not even in frame. Let's get myself in frame here. Good YouTube in here from the How to Camera channel. So, as you guys can see, this is like the complex. I live in this complex now. But guys, if you guys don't like me, okay, just don't come to my house, okay? It's barely a house, but I don't really care. But look at this fucking decoration. These are doors, right? This is a door to the gas unit. And this is like an airing cupboard, right? They've literally got wallpapers. And this is another door. They've got a wallpaper on a door of a door. And they've got 3 of them. Who does that shit? Who does that? Their kitchen, this cabinet here, right? I couldn't believe this. This is almost a crime. Why would anyone... What decoration is that shit? Like, are these guys foreign? Like, do these guys come from like, Jupiter or some shit? So they've got all these things. I don't even know what that is. I think it's like a wine cupboard. But then, why would they have that? The house looks like shit. They've got all these bricks. This is all decoration. They've got, like... The balcony is really nice. I really like the balcony. As you can see, this unit's totaled. They've still... You can actually see that shitty smiley face there. They've got, like, multiple different themes going on. It's so bizarre. Like, this room is tiny as well. Like, it's so much smaller than this flat I'm in right now. Who the fuck does this shit, right? They've got... That's their normal window, right? Look at that. They've got this... tacky. Where does anyone even get that from? But this room sucks. I mean, the bathroom's nice, but this guy, right, who took the photos is an op. Because where he's taking it from right now, right in this position, there is a door frame, but no door. So there's no way you can tell that the door's missing. But as you can see, the view is really nice. I really do like it. But the thing is with properties, and it's going for 45k, and that's a complete rip-off. But ultimately, there is a lot of potential with it. You know, if you fix it up, it'll be a decent size, and it's a bit small. Like, that's the one thing I don't like, but it's, you know, I probably could get it for like 37, 38 grand. And ultimately, you know, if that's nothing, like, that's a 4 grand deposit, and then it's like less than, I think it's like £500 a month for a 7-year mortgage. And that's a place that you actually live. It's a place where after 2 years, I could move out, convert it to a buy-to-let mortgage, get someone else renting it out, and then, you know, they all just pay for the mortgage pretty much. Obviously, there'd be a bit of a shortfall, based on, you know, how much those costs are that I talked about earlier. They call them, what are the costs actually called? The annual service charge and ground rent. Obviously that would put the rental income underwater a bit. So you would still be paying like £200, £100 a month, but ultimately at the end of it, you'd end up with full equity in a property. Which at that point, you know, you could rent out and then make a decent profit off of it, probably about $250 a month, whilst owning the property. And with it being so cheap, I would imagine it would appreciate in value anyway. But ultimately, it's exciting times for me. You know, I'm looking at properties. I'm going to really have a good look because I'm in a bit of a weird position. Like I want to buy somewhere to live, but I don't want to tie myself too much down to this area. Like Tunstall is not where I want to see myself living in 10 years. If I'm here in 10 years, I'm hanging myself, truthfully. No, I'm kidding. That's absolutely outrageous to say. But it's just not a place I would want to live long term. Like I'm literally just living here for a job, and my job's going fantastic. Like I'm really happy with my job. And it's put me in a position where I'm quite cash rich in the sense that I have lots of money to invest and lots of money to do stuff with. But right now, like, I need to get off renting, okay? Renting is such a waste of money. And renting is great for a year, okay? If you're going to rent for a year, fantastic, okay? But once you start renting past a year, it starts to become massively detrimental to your financial decisions. It's like staying in a hotel. You'd stay in a hotel for a night, for a week, maybe a couple of weeks. That would make sense. But you'd never stay in a hotel for a year. Okay, it'd cost you about 10 grand to stay in a hotel for a year. So and it's similar to renting. You rent somewhere for 6 months, a year, couple of years. But once it gets past a couple of years, that's when you need to look at buying a house or buying a flat or whatever. And if you can afford that deposit, you already find yourself in a better situation. I was talking about how it'd be like £500 a month to have a mortgage on it. That's practically the same price as what I'm paying now. And that's a 7-year mortgage. If I wanted to get a 10-year mortgage or a 15-year mortgage, I could make it probably cheaper than how much I paid to rent this flat out. So it just goes to show you how much better buying a property can be. With mortgage rates being as high as they are now, I'm trying so hard to get a short mortgage. Because I can't get a long mortgage. If you get a long mortgage, it exasperates the high interest rates. So that's something I'm looking at not doing. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I don't know how it came across. You know, it's weird with YouTube because I have videos that I want to do, and you know, I really enjoyed recording this video, and I know that some people will really enjoy it. But I understand that it's not gonna be great for most of the audience. Like most of the audience are probably not going to give a shit and not even watch the video. But I'm not too bothered because at the end of the day, you know, I feel like the quality of your audience matters a lot. Yes, I get less people watching my videos, but I'd like to think that the people watching my videos enjoy them a lot more. And I'd like to think that there is more of a potential market to grow into. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new today, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Take care.